Sunday's NFC Championship game between the Bucs and the Packers is worth $500,000 to us in a Ford F-150. Let's go get it. Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's your host, Jason Mattis, as always, from Winning Bets. Thanks for hanging out with me on this video. This is one of our contests over on the Fox Bet Super 6 app, and it's just a chance to win $500,000. Doesn't that sound good coming off my tongue and into your ears? And a new Ford F-150 due to Terry. Terry must have a lot of Ford F-150s, it seems, because he gave away a Ford F-150 last week. My man has two Ford F-150s parked in his garage, and he's giving away both of them. It's all between this Bucs and the Packers game on Sunday. As always, my research focuses on the last three games, and I feel like that's more relevant. And then also, if you guys remember last week, in terms of how we did last week, we had the Bucs and the Saints game last week. Well, all these questions where they ask you which team has to be better by how many yards. I didn't get any of the yardage part of that question right, but last week between the Bucs and Saints, was correctly predict the team right for every single question. So had a fairly good week. I mean, these margins of picking the yardages are really tight, but it did feel good to get at least every single team right. And if you're interested in a free bet, at the end of this video, I'll give you guys a free bet that you guys can place on this game. So stay tuned to that at the end if you're interested. All right, let's go ahead and jump on into it. Question one is, what's going to be the combined completions for Brady and Aaron Rodgers? Well, Rodgers averages 21 per game. He got 16 earlier this season against the Bucs. Brady averages 22 per game, and he got 17 earlier this season against the Packers. The Packers allow 21.7. The Bucs allow 25 a game. I'm going to go ahead and say 47 to 50 combined completions. I've got both of them around 20 to 25, and if you want to know where that sits, I went ahead and looked up on DraftKings. They've got each QB's over-under to complete completions at 24.5, so that's obviously 48, 49, what have you right there. So I'm right in there at my 47 to 50 prediction. And in terms of last week, if you're curious, Brady got 18 completions last week and Aaron Rodgers got 23 completions. So based on all that information, question two is which team is going to have the most receptions and how many? I think it's going to be neck and neck. I'm going to go ahead and say the Bucs, but I'm going to go ahead and say it's by 0-1. The Bucs do get more completions per game when their defense, Rodgers does get more, or I should say Brady does get more completions, but I'm going to go ahead and say 0-1. That's how tight I think it's going to be. It could even be a tie. So go ahead and give me Bucs on that one. Question three is, what's going to be the team with the most rushing yards and how many? Well, the Packers rushed the ball for 94 yards in that first meeting earlier this season. The Bucs had 158 yards in that first meeting, but it was skewed a little bit. If you guys remember, that score was 38-10. So the Bucs were running a little bit more run heavy late in the game. I mean, they even put in Blaine Gabbert there on the last drive. So 158 is what they got, but it was definitely skewed a little bit due to the score. The Bucs have given up so far this postseason 86 yards and 104 yards. They got in those two games 142 and 127 yards. The Packers in their lone playoff game, they gave up 96 yards to the Rams, but they got 188 yards against the number one defense. Overall, the Bucs run defense is probably better by about 15 yards per game, but the Packers run offense is better by about 46 yards. And in terms of rush yards per carry, this one's big to me. The Packers, they'll get 5.4 yards per carry, and the Bucs will only get 4.2 yards per carry. Go ahead and give me the Packers will be the team with the most yards, and I'll go ahead and say 14 to 24 yards. I was really impressed last week with what they were able to do up against that number one defense. Question four is, what's going to be the team with the most receiving yards and how many? Well, the Packers had 107 yards passing in that first game. The Buccaneers had 166 yards. That's right, 166 yards, even though they put up that 38 points. The Packers offense, they're averaging about 249. The Bucs are averaging about 315. Packers defense averages about 167 per game, and the Bucs defense averages about 245 per game. I wanted to go ahead and look up sack comparison because I think that matters in this game. The Packers defense sacks percentage is 6.86, significantly better than the Bucs, coming in at 2.38%. And then how did these two quarterbacks do last week in terms of taking sacks? Rodgers did not get sacked last week. Brady got sacked last week. I'm going to go ahead and say Packers for this one as well and give me 40 to 54 more passing yards is what they'll have. Question five is a new one here. Last week we got punt return yards. This time they're giving us kicking. So what will be the longest field, or which team will have the longest field goal and by how many yards? The Bucs attempted two kicks all season long of 50 plus. They had 9 in that 40 to 9 range, and their long on the season was 50 yards. The Packers attempted 4 field goals of 50 plus yards. They attempted 5 in the 40 to 49 yards. Their long was 57 yards this season, and the Packers kicker Mason Crosby was 16 for 16 during the regular season. I'm going to go ahead and say Packers for this one. I will respect that Tampa Bay defense, and I do think the Packers will be forced into taking a long field goal. I'm going to go and say 53 to 54 yards. Keep in mind, Mason Crosby has a strong leg. He's shown that throughout the season. Just gave you the numbers there. And he's also more seasoned in big games. I mean, Ryan Suckup doesn't have the experience like a Mason Crosby does. Mason Crosby has the experience, and he's kicking in his home ballpark. I like Mason Crosby there in the Packers. And question 6, as we know, is always who's going to win the game and what's going to be the win margin. Well, the line is currently right now Packers -3. Keep in mind earlier the Buccaneers won this game 38-10. That was after the Packers were up 10-0 earlier on. Aaron Rodgers threw 2 interceptions in that game. He had 5 all season long, just really bad. And I'll give you some more stats here. The Packers, after they got those 10 points, they had 10 more drives. They only got 54 total yards on those remaining 10 drives of the game. That is absolutely staggering. The Buccaneers, of their 38 points, they got 28 points there in the second quarter. So, and one of those was on a pick 6 there of one of those interceptions was returned, for 7 points on a pick 6. So it wasn't like the Buccaneers dominated. If you look at the score, you see 38-10, you'd think it was dominating, but they really just, capitalized the moment and dominated one quarter of that entire game. And that's how they got out to that, 38-10 victory. I don't see that happening this time. I think the Packers are much better going into this fair. I think offensive-wise, they're better. Defensive-wise, they're better. I love the pressure that they put on quarterbacks. I think that's exactly how you beat Brady. We know that's how you beat Brady. I've got the Packers winning this game. And I'll go ahead and say the Packers win the game by 4-6. Close game like everybody's expecting. I think it'll be a little bit higher than what the spread is. So Packers win the game by 4-6. All right, now for your free play that I wanted to go ahead and give you guys, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys Devontae Adams over 7.5 receptions, and you can find that at -108 over at DraftKings. So once Devontae Adams catches that 8th reception, you'll have money in your pocket. If you're interested in any more bets from this game or bets from the Bills-Chiefs game on my daily show on January 22nd, Friday episodes, I break down both of these games extensively, and I give you more player props for both of these games. So if you're interested in any more bets, further action for these games, go ahead and check out that daily show. Otherwise, as always, I'm trying to have helped you guys. Go ahead and hit that like button if I've helped you. Otherwise, good luck with your picks. I've got a truck to sell you guys on Monday, so make sure you come back, and I'll see you guys then. Have a good one. Thanks for watching this episode of Winning Bets. I'm Jason Mattis. I'll see you again when we are celebrating the wins and making more winning bets. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more winning bets.